Hello, and I'm here to refute Sydney's points on why Common Core should be abolished. First of all, I would like to start with Common Core's misunderstanding. Alan Schoenfield in the Berkeley blog says that it is important to understand what the Common Core is not. Most importantly, the Common Core is not a curriculum. However, the Common Core was only introduced 7 years ago in 2009, and as most things are introduced, it always takes time for it to be effective, and you need to have some time for rebuilding. And judging by how 45 states have endorsed Common Core, I'm saying that Common Core is going into a brighter future rather than burning down to the ground. And I would like to also refute Sydney's points of how it is unfair to students. The Common Core tries to get feedback from students through teachers. Now in Bo Kovitz in the Daily Californian, he states that for the first part of the year, teachers who thought the curricula were particularly frustrated working with syllabi that McDonald said felt so different to them. By March and April, teachers were seeing their students doing things they couldn't do before. And also, he states that it wasn't a top-down kind of implementation. He says that teachers work from the ground up, all in the effort to better understand how their students think and analyze problems. Now, I would also like to refute Sydney's claim of how Common Core it kills creativity, but I would like to also know who does Common Core kill creativity. So in my defense, I would like to say that Common Core can actually give creativity to both students and teachers. Now, Evan Stone in How Common Core Helps in the New York Post says that finally the Common Core doesn't stifle teacher creativity. It does the opposite. Because the standards shy away from the rote memorization and other mind-numbing approaches our schools have employed for decades, teachers have the opportunity to dig deep into the subject with their students. For example, in focus groups we have conducted all around the cities, Educators for Excellence is hearing positive feedback from reading and writing teachers, many of whom are praising the focus on both fiction and nonfiction reading, as well as a new emphasis on text-based evidence. Now, I would also like to defend this point how it is very unfair to students, because even before Common Core, we had classrooms such as special ed classrooms for the disabled, and I would say even if Common Core was brought up, that doesn't change the fact that there were special ed classrooms to help the physically disabled and the mentally disabled. So each student has a different way to inherit information as well, which is why it is easier for Common Core, when Common Core is introduced, that we get to see each student try to have different methods of learning the same thing in school. And in Old Standards versus Common Core, students retell the main events. This is an example of how in The Frog and Toad Together, they have, before Common Core, they identify the characters and the setting of the story. But with Common Core, they say that students compare and contrast the adventures and experiences of Frog and Toad in Frog and Toad Together and participate in collaborative conversations about their comparisons. Now, for my assumption, it is a lot easier trying to have a conversation with one of your peers rather than the teacher by itself, because sometimes students might think they feel intimidated in a way. And to end with my last point is that Brian Bryson in Common Core, UC Berkeley Graduate School of Education, says that if it is not difficult, she said they're not learning, because when things are difficult, students often use their brains rather than to try to look for shortcuts, and that is why I think Common Core is very effective.